Amongst the players right now at Manchester United, trust me, the most expensive player signed is Antony at 85 million pounds from Ajax to Manchester United, all 100 million euros, and he is really one of those players that Erik ten Hag was really dying to bring at Manchester United. The board looked like they never wanted to bring in the player because it looked like they never wanted to go in and really back the manager as he wanted, but obviously they reached an extent after Sir Jim Ratcliffe came in through, and obviously they had to give in and brought that player to Erik ten Hag. This is where we go in and really hint or call out the board on spending close to 30 million pounds more on the deal of Antony and 30 million pounds more on the deal of Casemiro, meaning that they spent 60 million pounds more on these two deals of the Brazilians that came at Manchester United, and that 60 million pounds would have seen players like Cody Gakpo coming in at Manchester United and maybe a right back or a centre forward, because I believe Cody Gakpo at 40 million pounds they would have really given to Manchester United, and the 20 million pounds United would have gone in for a right back that they would have desired to sign at Manchester United, especially under Erik ten Hag. Now today, Antony has really come out and really held an interview with a Brazilian national team media, and he has really told us how life is in Manchester. He has gone ahead to really throw a lot of hail to his teammates that have really gone ahead to really help him settle up well at a side which goes by the names of Manchester. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching me for the very first time, lower right bottom corner, smash the subscription button. After smashing it, hit the notification bell to enable you get notified each and every time I upload a video onto this channel. Rokan David is my name, and without further ado, allow me jet into this because you are really having the last story of the day. And obviously today we've done two stories, not very many stories, but as we climax the day, I saw a story of Jan Oblak. Which other story have I seen? I've seen close to 3 stories as far as transfers are concerned, and tomorrow I'm going to come in here and really dissect them. We've been linked to a central defender of Napoli playing for the national team of North Korea. That really tells you that, as I told you, that to me I believe Harry Maguire is really on the way out of Manchester United and Victor Lindelof. Those are defenders that Erik ten Hag doesn't really fancy to be around him at Manchester United. So let's get in this story and do some Antony, obviously, and we'll call it a day, and maybe tomorrow the Lord will bless us with life and obviously come back here and really talk more in there for you. Antony on Manchester, he has said, I'm enjoying it. It's the first few weeks, but I've already discovered a few Brazilian restaurants. I went with Casemiro. We are settling in the city. I'm already adapting well here at the club. I'm feeling at home. We are settling in at Manchester. Now, good to hear that he's settling in at Manchester, because one of the most important things that really make you a professional is to really feel at home. The more you don't feel at home, the more you find yourself not producing results on the field of play. That's why Sir Alex Ferguson used to meet the families of these footballers. Even when these footballers never knew, he made it a point that he was a friend to each and every spouse of the United player. You get, and you know what really led to their breakup with Sir Alex Ferguson? Because he told Beckham, don't marry Victoria of Spice Girls, because she's a celebrity. She's going to introduce you into the celebrity life, and your life for football, you won't hit your ceiling in football, and that's where their misunderstandings came in from. So, sorry, it shows you how much that he was so close to the partners of these players, to an extent that he really had to meet them without these players knowing. So, what does that show you? That a manager who is professional enough will always make sure that the family is part of him with friendship. So, how does that friendship come about? That friendship comes about, and after it comes about, these players are really urged or really motivated by their wives at home that, please, you never played well today, but do ABCD. Sir Alex Ferguson would even fear to confront the player, and would go ahead and really call the wife and tell him, please tell your husband that he never played well today. He needs to go ahead and really work a lot and do ABCD. So the wife would always talk to the player and tell him, please do this, do this, do this. So every time the player was in the field of play, he knew that he was not only playing for Manchester United, but he was also playing for his spouse, because he knew that the spouse would go back home and really scrutinize what he did on the field of play. So that's how Ferguson really did. And when you hear Antony coming in through and saying that he is enjoying it, he has found Brazilian restaurants, and obviously Casemiro took him everywhere around the city and he's loving everything in there. So it shows you how huge these players are really enjoying. And obviously when he settles in like that, obviously it means a lot for him. And that goal he scored against Arsenal, obviously it really cut off the pressure. It revealed it. He was relieved of the pressure, because everyone will say Antony blah blah. They say, oh, but the guy scored against Arsenal in there for you. So I think that goal made a lot for him, and obviously he bought himself more time in there for assessment, all quick assessment. And now I doubt it whether people will go in and really do a very quick assessment about him as far as his game of football is concerned at Manchester United. That is a man who goes by the names of Antony, and say he's settling in well at Manchester United. And obviously when you see the photos coming in from the training ground and the way he really acts with his fellow players in the field, it looks like the manager has really given him a lot of trust, and he knows that he's really going to come in through and do the needful for side which goes by Manchester United. That is Antony, and what he said about Manchester United. He said on Manchester United, training is very different, but I would prepared for it mentally. But I am prepared for it mentally. I knew how intense it would be. It would be as I've always followed the Premier League. I knew how intense the games were, and I have prepared and trained a lot to be 100% as soon as possible. So, as Erik ten Hag told us, the problem that this guy is facing, it's all about his fitness. And that's why you see to it that every game he tries to play him close to 80, 70 or 90 minutes. In the game of Arsenal, he played close to 60 minutes. He was taken off and Ronaldo came in through. In the game of Real Sociedad, he played close to 70 minutes and he was taken off. Then in the game of Shelf down in Moldova, he played close to 80 minutes and was taken off, and Elanga came in through. So the manager is trying to really put him to the level of the Premier League. And the manager said that Antony needs to go ahead and really improve on his physicality, because the Premier League is one of the most physical leagues in the world, and it's not like LDVs, so he needs to go in and really come in and fit in like a glove. And obviously even the lad has gone ahead to really go ahead and really say that, please, the training is very different. That's it, because Ten Hag knew that this side is really different from the LDVs, and he knew it even before he came in here. How many years back? I think in 2016, when Pep Guardiola came in at Man City and played his first season that never went well for him, they asked Ten Hag. Why did they ask Ten Hag? Ten Hag was really the manager of the reserve team of Bayern Munich when Pep Guardiola was the manager of the senior team, because they knew one another, and they asked him what went wrong with Pep Guardiola in the Premier League. He said Pep Guardiola underestimated the physicality in the Premier League. That's why he's really facing it rough in his first season. And he knew it. That's why when he came in at Manchester United, he came in with a different set of training altogether. That's why Antony is telling you that training is very different. You get? Same manager, different teams, different training sessions, because the leagues are totally different. The way you train in the LDVC is not the way you train in the Premier League. That's it. Your physicality has to be high up to the required standards, because it calls for so much more into this game of football. And that's why a man who goes by the names of Antony is telling you that it's totally different, and Erik ten Hag is also making sure that he's really making him fit. And so I've heard some people say Antony is not as fast as we saw him on the ball. Guys, this guy is fast, but the problem is he is not yet there. Look at Ronaldo too. He's not yet there. You see, I even saw the game that Portugal won yesterday but won. But obviously you saw that Ronaldo has not yet gotten back his scoring touch. You get? He has not yet gotten back his scoring touch. His confidence is off. You get? If you watch that game of Czech Republic and Portugal, where Portugal scored 4-0, the first person to go on target would have been Ronaldo. Bruno Fernandes would have gone for a curler onto the farthest side of the goal, but he said, all right, let me do a cutback pass to a man who goes by the names of Ronaldo. Ronaldo was into the 6 yards area, but he missed that ball. He missed it. You get? And it went and found Bernardo Silva. So it shows you how important fitness levels are, especially into the Premier League. And if at all Ronaldo, he's 100% used to the Premier League, has not yet hit those levels, then what of Antony, who is here? That's why Antony is telling you that I have prepared and trained a lot to be 100% as soon as possible. So he's not yet there. He is training hard to make sure he meets those levels of the Premier League. And I know when he really meets those levels of the Premier League, he's going to sit very many defenders down, and obviously he's really going to be one of those players that we won't always regret of being purchased from Ajax at 85 million euros. Then Antony, he said, I'm really happy to be with friends and working together here. It's a great feeling. It actually makes the settling in easier, not just with the teammates, but all the other players that given me a warm welcome, and this has really helped me to adapt. As I told you guys, when you're going to bring Antony, I told people that Antony settling is not going to be a hard thing. Reason, these players, he's going to find in Brazilian players, that is Casemiro and Freddy. They know themselves an international team. They can speak Brazilian languages. Now his family can easily have other Brazilians to really interact with, and that is really something great. That's why way back Manchester United used to sign players, and they would sign the family, they would be paying the family, and they would also be paying their friends. Now they had to make sure that they make a conducive environment for this player to come in at Manchester United and really play for them. So like you bring in Antony, you bring his family and all his friends that he has been feeling okay with, such that when he's on the field of play, he knows that if I lose, my family is losing, my friends are losing, my children are losing, and that's why United really had a lot of success. Now, Antony is being helped a lot to adapt to the team by his fellow Brazilians and obviously other players like Ronaldo, Cristiano, because you've seen photos on training with him and Ronaldo really doing lots of stuff in there for you. And obviously, not forgetting a man who goes by the names of Lisandro Martinez, who is also making it easy for him to settle in at Manchester United. Remember, Lisandro Martinez came in and joined United when they really got from the... when United completed its last game of the preseason in around, was it 20th? I think it was around 20th. Yeah, 20th. It was around 20th. Then they returned, and at around 23rd, they returned at Carrington and really played and really started training with the team. That is Lisandro Martinez and Eriksson. So he was here, I think, for like a month before Antony came in through, meaning that Lisandro Martinez had already started the situation and he welcomed him, and obviously he has been his teammate at Ajax, and obviously he had no problem of settling in with his fellow players. So it was not a very bad atmosphere for him, and obviously he has players that he can really talk to, close to 4 or 5, and the Ronaldos, Brunos, obviously speaking Portuguese. Obviously, they are really good players, and these people gave him a very warm welcome at Manchester United. That is Antony. And lastly, he said, the team are part of an excellent squad, so we have to go to know each other and establish an understanding to reach this level and develop our football. We are getting to know each other better each day, game by game, so that this harmony can flow. So, guys, I believe that Antony is one of those players that is really doing great at Manchester United, and I know with time we're really going to go and appreciate the talent of this guy. This guy is not this usual guy that you would go in and really call in to come to your team in there for you, because he is one of the best rated talents in his age. Trust me. He is one of the most highly rated players in his age. That's why Ten Hag went in for him and said, all right, I want Antony, I want Lisandro Martinez, although a player who goes by the names of Julian Timber didn't come in through, but obviously to me, it's a blessing, guys. It's a blessing in disguise, not getting Julian Timber and having Lisandro Martinez. Very, very strong. The Butcher is really doing great at Manchester United. So guys, tell me what you think about Antony's reaction to his first days at Manchester United is saying, I'm really enjoying Manchester United. And obviously, when you look at the situation, he's really enjoying United. And obviously, he is loving everything at Manchester United. Has promised us that he's planning to get 100% fit. And when he really gets fit, you know what he does? He sits down defenders day in, day out. Last video of the day, maybe my return will be when a breaking story comes in through, because you never know what's going to come up into the news. But obviously, I call it a day. I sign out for now. See you later. May the Almighty God bless you abundantly. And if you're watching us for the very first time, subscribe to this channel and hit the notification bell. That will enable you get notified each and every time I upload a video onto this channel. That has been Antony and what he was saying about his first days at Manchester United. Obviously, I know you have your reactions to this story, and they are welcome into the comment section below. I sign out for now. See you later, my mates. Good night, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you're watching us from, because we are being watched in all corners of the world.